guys. We're back. We're Black and Curious. I'm Kandron.
Hey now, it is your girl Dehjai.
And we're back. Are you having a cocktail today?
Yes, I am. Actually, I'm drinking
Excellent.
a little bit of Prosecco, my new fave.
Nice.
That good La Marca. I've been buying it religiously over the last couple of weeks.
Love that. I am feeling very, very black. If you've been here before, you would have seen me drink this before. Sweet tea and crown peach. By the way,
That is very black.
let's discuss. Okay, so I got this sweet tea from Popeyes the other day, right? Because I was just feeling in the mood every now and again. I don't
really
eat Popeyes. I don't eat Popeyes that much. I mean, I like it, but I don't eat it that much. But anyways, they're charging 15 African American dollars for a 5-piece tenders meal.
$15. Gee. But you know what? Everything has gone up.
American dollars.
Everything has gone up. To your point about the $15 for a 5-piece meal, this is not fast food related, but I was trying to do my grocery shopping as I usually do on the good app. And my avocado oil doubled in price. It went from $8 and some change to $16.99.
Yeah. Inflation has us all out here looking ridiculous. So anyways,
is it really inflation? Because I'm like, that is double the price. Usually inflation is like a little creep up.
It's inflation. There's shortages everywhere. People can't get stuff. It's COVID. It's inflation. It's war.
Right.
So it's a lot going on in the world. Anyways, all that to say, that's why I have sweet tea, because I don't really buy sweet tea. I love it. I don't buy it. But that's why I'm having this very African-American beverage.
In case you all are new here, we talk pop culture, reality TV, and life and how all those things intersect. So welcome to the show. What are we talking about today, Can?
We are talking about Housewives. Okay, so we previously, like one of our very first conversations on this channel, and I'll make sure I link it above, was about a case for segregated housewives shows. We were tired. This was in relationship to Ebony K. Williams in her first season on rhony, and it was
coming back.
Unpleasant. I don't know that rhony is coming back, or if it does, it's gonna be super scaled down.
Right, a whole new bag of bitches. Okay.
So because also, it was just a mess, and it was very clear that certain people didn't really care for her, that the race conversation was too much for Ramona. Ramona was being slightly anti-Semitic toward the end at the Black Shabbat. And it was just so much. And we were just kind of like, can we just leave our Blacks on their franchises where they can be safe? That was our sort of argument. So then this week, this article on the LA Times. Now listen, the LA Times have the Housewives in a chokehold, okay? The LA Times is who broke the Erica Jane, Tom Girardi mess, and they have followed that, and they did like a whole expose on that. So the LA Times, if they ain't gonna do nothing else, they're giving Housewives tea. So apparently Ramona is also under investigation for racist behavior behind the scenes too, which is what I always said, was that I felt like they didn't do that reunion because of Ramona. It wasn't because of Ebony, it was because of Ramona. Oh yeah. So anyway, it got me thinking about, once again, our previous conversation, but I guess we just wanted to update it since we've had a lot of mess happening on Salt Lake City. We've had mess on the OC. So just wanted to update the conversation, I suppose. So why don't we start with the Housewives of Salt Lake City? As y'all know, if you watch, Jennie has been fired now for making a bunch of racist comments about George Floyd, I think, in Black Lives Matter and all of this stuff. And it was very clear that she had an agenda against Mary, who is not unproblematic in her own right, because she says racist things about literally everyone, including Black people. So what say you on this integrated cast? What is the impression it has left you with?
Honestly, I think it can work when it's the right group of people. And I say that based upon I am now currently watching the like All-Star Housewives. I don't know what the hell that's called, but the
Oh
show
yeah,
that's mainly on Peacock.
Yeah, I'm recording it, but I haven't started watching it yet.
And if you pluck Ramona out of it, it is a really good mix of people,
yes.
Even though, like, understandably, it is majority white except for Kenya and Cynthia. I guess maybe my brain separates Teresa and Melissa because they're Italian, but yes, like they're still white adjacent in terms of like identifying, right?
Yes.
So I don't know. I think watching them interact, it's been really fun. Even though they had some drama aside from the Ramona character of it all, it's worked out pretty well. And they have made some surprising connections. Like Cynthia and Teresa are close because of the show. Yeah.
Putting a pin in this season, I'm gonna watch it. I have it on my DVR. But Phaedra is on next season, and I'm very excited about that. Phaedra Parks is like literally the most problematic, like one of the more problematic characters of the Atlanta universe, but also she is so funny to me. I don't know why. She is just a nutcase. Like, she is perfect for TV. And if she had never said that like horrible lie, potentially criminal lie about Candy, she would have been on this show forever because she is just so good at it. So I'm excited to see Phaedra back on my television screen. I'm very, very excited.
I would love to have her back on the Housewives of Atlanta, but I already know that
never gonna happen.
That Candy is like, if you put her on the show, then I will leave. And like Candy is like the headliner of the show at this point.
Point, yeah. I'm excited about that. But yeah, I think it can work, but I don't know. Like, I sort of feel like this about how I feel like how about Housewives about Married at First Sight. Like, are y'all just not digging deep enough? Like, this stuff is living literally right below the surface. It's like, this is the surface and all the mess is like right here. Like, if you scratch with a sharp enough nail, you would hit the mess that would disqualify these people. Like, all you had to do
was being number one.
Yeah, like all you had to do is Google Jennie. All you had to do was go on her Facebook page and search out the way the girls do when they're ready to put somebody on blast on Twitter, on Facebook, whatever.
I feel like somebody got fired though, because that was blatantly right there at the top, like top of the cream of the crop. Like the cream was right there, which was her BS.
Absolutely.
No way you could have made that.
The way she went out after Mary, like right out of the gate, I was just like, what is her issue? It just felt like she was trying to be relevant, but now, like, on second thought, it was like, well, maybe she's just racist and don't like Black people, so she just jumped at the only Black person on the cast.
Right. Then I don't know what show, either I was listening to a show or I was reading about it, but they were talking about the Black scent that a lot of people do.
Yes.
They were talking in reference to Jennie. They were saying that her and doing all of this.
And then she always likes to act like, oh, I'm from Long Beach, so like I just whatever. But you don't talk like that all the time, though.
Right. That was
knock it off.
Like, girl, what's going on here? You hate us, but you want to be a part of the culture.
So Mary is not unproblematic because child, she be saying the worst things about everybody. But Mary, and the thing about it is for me, definitely. The thing about it is for me, this is gonna be horrible. Like, if you say the same thing about everybody, including your own people, I'm just like, then you're just a problematic person.
Period. Mary need her own show.
She does. And also the fact that these women cannot keep Mary's name out of their mouth this entire reunion. Mary ain't been on the stage and has been the topic of conversation this entire reunion. So which one is it? Hello? Which one is it? Is she the problem or is she the thing keeping the show running? Let's just be honest.
Hello.
So I don't know what they're going to do.
It goes back to that thing of always wanting to steal the culture. So as a means to still be relevant, they talking about Mary. So that tells me that you really have nothing going on.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing going on. Makes sense.
Absolutely.
All these women have businesses that they could be talking about, as Candy does. Hello, take the Candy train. Talk about all the shit that you running to bring in more money. Hello.
The LVP train with the dogs. She got the Vanderpump dogs. She got the pump. She's got the restaurant. She got Vanderpump Rules. She got all the things.
But before Vanderpump, it was Candy.
No, I'm saying there's models for this. We got Candy. We have Pump. We have, we have models for this on reality television. So anyways, and then I just wanted to have a few words about OC because there's been a new Black housewife on the OC. Well, she's biracial.
I'm about to say, she seems like she is Black adjacent. Because I watched
First of all,
I didn't realize until you told me.
Yeah. First of all, let's back up because Kelly Dodd was fired because of her Fox News anchor new husband, and she couldn't keep her mouth shut either.
What did I miss? I didn't hear about that.
Oh yeah, Kelly Dodd was fired from Housewives last season. After the last season of the OC because of similar comments from Jennie. And she was always kind of like extra and over the top and way outspoken and saying things she had no business saying. And then, after the awakening or reckoning or whatever y'all want to call it, I guess Bravo was like, no, we can't have this. And she married an actual Fox News anchor. That's her new husband. So you can imagine what her politics are.
I mean, don't even claim her heritage. And
no, she really doesn't. And I also think I think what was the nail in the coffin is that she was giving misinformation about COVID along the Fox News train. So she was fired, but they replaced her in part with Noella, and she is thirsty.
Well, is her husband divorced her? I want to make sure she got a check.
Yes, there's that. Her husband is like this big time attorney. We do this all the time. Shouts out to the Bravo docket. They have a really good episode on her husband and his like empire, his legal empire, and like how all the money that he made. But basically, to make a long story short, he was with Noella for a long time, but he wasn't divorced from his other wife. So they had like a ceremony or whatever, but they couldn't get married until like another year later before his divorce was final. And so they had a house in, I guess, LA area, Orange County, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then also had a house in Puerto Rico. So they were living in the house in Puerto Rico, and I guess she came back and he went back to Puerto Rico and filed divorce papers and sent her divorce papers in Spanish via he filed for divorce in Puerto Rico.
My face.
In Puerto Rico, and sent her the divorce paper, filed service or gave her service through flowers. Because the first process server ended up serving her mom, which was not valid. And then he sent her flowers and it turned out to be a process server.
Girl, so wait a minute. Girl. So he divorced. So the husband is divorcing Noella with the flowers, mm-hmm. with the being served.
Yeah.
Make sure I'm following.
Because he's still living in Puerto Rico. And my thing is, Noella's like, what is he doing there? And I'm,
Oh, well, never mind. Puerto Rico is the territory of the United States. So I guess it could still work. But I'm like, why would he send it? Like, that's why I was so confused.
Well, I'm sure he didn't want to file it in California. California has some of the most pro-marriage sort of mm-hmm. laws. So you forum shop, and they have a house in, Puerto Rico. They lived there for some time. So he filed it there.
That is shady as hell. I hope that she got some good lawyers and they can get around that, because he did that.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure
in the state of California, I feel like they're still gonna drag him for that.
Nah, we'll see. And I feel like he probably got a girlfriend down in Puerto Rico too.
Child, he do.
So, anyways, I didn't realize he was so well off, but he is very, very, very well off. Like super well off. Like I said, go listen to the Bravo Dockets episode. Anyways, Noella did something and I was just like, huh? So
She
Okay.
seems confusing. Every time I watch the show, I
She's
can't even keep
dumb.
up with the hell's going on. And then there's a girl on there that
She's
looks
an
like
idiot.
Gretchen Rossi from previous seasons. And I'm like, I keep thinking that it's Gretchen, and I'm like, that's not Gretchen.
Who looks like Gretchen?
I don't know what her name is, but she's blonde with blue
Gina?
eyes.
Is
No.
it Gina? I feel like Gina's the only one that kind of looks like Gretchen.
I don't know. I have to, you know what? Let me pull up the cast.
Okay, in the meantime, I'll give you the background on the situation. So Noella is also bisexual, and she and Heather has two children who are queer. I think one identifies as like full-on lesbian, and one identifies as just like queer or something. I don't think that both. I'm not sure what both of them identify, right? Mm-hmm. So, Noella, in a show of solidarity, gave her this card game. And it was like supposed to be like a fun game, not realizing. And I really don't think she realized, because some of these games, like you think you're buying them and they're fine, like Cards Against Humanity, and it's like some explicit stuff in there, right? So turns out that there was some or what the meme is something that I bought. And I was just like, whoa, what is this?
No, it ain't Gina. Gina don't look shit like her.
Okay. Well, keep looking. Well, it turns out basically this game had some very sexually explicit information in it, sexually explicit like cards in it. You know, it's like a Cards Against Humanity sort of game. And Heather, of course, dramatic as she is, was like, "You gave my daughter pornography," and she was like, and Noella was like, "As a biracial, bisexual, blah 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 woman, you and your white fragility," what did she say? Straight fragility. And I was like, now what in the co-opted language is that? Girl, what is straight fragility? So in my opinion, she's co-opting Black language in that space. And I was just like, this is so odd. So all of that to say, these new integrated housewives that they have are not, they are not, you know, the bastions of civility or whatever. They are not sympathetic characters other than Mary. I like Mary. She cracks me up, but she's problematic, but she cracks me up. But like, wow, where did y'all get these people from?
This shit is a mess.
Yeah. The article also talks about, and I'll leave the article down below. The article also talks about the housewife in Dallas. I think her name is Jenny Moon. I didn't watch Dallas, so I don't know.
Oh yeah.
But apparently there was like some chicken
controversy
or something.
I actually watched that season. I don't even know
why
I was watching it. I did. It was interesting because the one with the dark hair and the blue eyes be like ready to attack people. She gives me Evelyn Lozada. She's jumping on top of tables. It's wild. I don't know if she's still on that show, but like,
well, it's been paused. It's been paused indefinitely, so it might not come back.
Well, I mean, there was some racist stuff that was said about like jokes and things that were made about Tiffany Moon. Either she said it in an interview or it wasn't in an interview. It came out, I think, in Radar Online, but I think it was something that the girl with the red hair, I don't know her name, but she was saying things on a live and it got spun out of control.
Yeah. So anyways, I stand by what I said. I feel like maybe they can be integrated, but I don't know. And based on the type of women that are supposed to be in this housewife space, I don't know that these are the type of women that deal fondly with integration. Let's just go that way.
I would give you that 100%. I don't know who it is that look like damn Gretchen Rossi, but every time
that's why I was like, I don't know, because I don't think
Gretchen's
any of these
hair is straight now, as opposed to like that big Texas hair.
Yeah,
like, is that Gretchen? Like, am I? But because if it's Gretchen, I flex with Gretchen. I got to watch the show.
Yeah,
Gretchen was my favorite. Because they was always bullying her.
Gretchen was never my favorite, but nevertheless, I think I still stand by my original opinion. Like, all of the extra drama, it just makes it not a fun watch. Like, it makes it a little bit stressful because you're like, what is all of this other stuff going on? Like, either you're going to have to do it where you have a Kim Zolciak and Nene situation where they were like truly actually friends.
Yeah.
To make it work, or
go ahead.
No, or you're gonna have to find like a new city where people actually interact that way. But trying to force all of this stuff together is like, it's not working.
But with the Nene and Kim thing, I also kind of feel like they wasn't necessarily really friends before this show. That's the energy that I get, because it was like they became real buddy clickety in being on the show, because they had a similar enemy in Sheree.
Right. In Sheree.
And then they fell apart quickly.
But I feel like they at least knew each other well. Like they had been kind of circulating in the same rooms. It felt like.
Maybe, but I couldn't understand. In that regard, I wouldn't understand why Kim would be there, because she, remember all the problematic stuff that she was saying about Black people.
I mean, yes. So, but that's what and that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like if you dig deep into, okay, so this is a whole way other aside. So, y'all remember when the people canceled Paula Deen because they found out she said the N-word?
Yeah, I'm about to say. And
I was just like,
restaurant. She didn't say it on TV.
Also, I was just like, that lady is 98 years old and she grew up in the Deep South. Yes, if she had said no, I would have called her a liar. Period. Of course she has. Of course y'all are canceling her over that. Not to say that, you know what I'm saying? I want her to say that. Like, I don't think she should. And I hope, and I hope that that's a relic of her past and she's not actively running around calling people that. However,
not that she wasn't. She just was saying, because it was, I feel like when that whole thing came out, there were like Black producers or something like that on her show, like when they were, cooking and stuff behind the scenes, and they would have banter conversation. I think somebody like that wasn't a part of the grouping came in and heard it, and then that blew it up into this huge thing.
Well, what it was is there was some sort of, people were suing or something, and it was in a deposition that she had admitted to saying it, and I'm just like, duh. Yeah. Like,
not duh.
And maybe that's just, full disclosure, I am from Virginia. Like, I look at white people and I'm just like, you have definitely said it. That is sort of like where my head is. Like, and after a certain age, I just assume they've all said it.
Hello, especially
I don't like
the elderly that's in the home right now.
I'm like, duh.
They're all calling us in words.
So and I don't do it to my face, because that's going to be a different issue. And like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that you're doing it currently, but it seemed like this was something in Paula's past that she had said. So anyways, I feel like I'm comparing that to the current situation of Housewives and saying that I feel like particularly white women at a certain level, they just are a certain way, and unless you are like super strategic and super like intentional about gathering the white people who are not like that, you're never going to successfully integrate those type of women with Black women who want to call them on their shit.
I mean, facts. Shout out and word to Ebony K. Williams, because she was not letting shit go.
And even the ones that was doing the light checks in in Beverly Hills, Garcelle and Crystal, they wasn't even hitting them over the head like Ebony, and they still was getting catching it on the side. So it's like, and Dorit was still in Garcelle's face calling her a bully, and still, you know what I'm saying? So I just don't see how it's going to be successful. And for that reason, to shield the Black people that I care about and keep this as an enjoyable watching experience for me, I'd rather it be segregated.
I mean, I'm of the same train, because I feel like at some point it becomes psychologically unsafe to your work environment.
Absolutely.
And that these people are doing, especially like with Dorit, are carrying the hell out of the situation. Like, you throw the stone and then hide your hand, and then you're like, you're a bully. Like, girl, you don't even see all the ways that you're doing the bullying.
Absolutely.
And your shit is like not necessarily even discreet.
Yeah.
Like, in the slightest. It's
just for consistency purposes, I feel if you don't watch our reality recaps, I feel a need to tell Whitney she can go to hell in this medium as well. Um, just for consistency purposes, because she has been terrible all season. So anyways, that's that on that. And this whole mess that she drums up with Mary pisses me off as well.
Like, you just nosy. Like, she gives me, if y'all have seen The Others on Netflix, or not Netflix, Amazon Prime.
I've not seen that.
She gives me the white lady in The Others.
Yeah.
Literally harassing the Black family to the point that old girl slapped her.
Yeah. So anyways, let us know if you're a Housewives watcher. Please drop down in the comments. Let us know how you feel. Do you feel that any of these casts have been successfully integrated? Or if you have ideas, casting ideas, tell us who you think would make a good cast or some good new energy into any of these franchises.
Please. I honestly would like to see like how the others live in terms of like all these California casts, everybody is white, but there are wealthy Blacks in California. So can we get one of them to have a show? Definitely. Can we see how they live in Bravo? If you listen in Truly Entertainment, you know, if y'all take this idea, please credit Black and Curious and okay, cut the check.
Throw back to like Baldwin Hills.
Hello.
So
anyways. That's what I'm saying. And if you are OG, you know what Baldwin Hills is.
Absolutely. So anyways, until then, till next time, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you next time.
Bye.